Hey, this is Scott Photography Bonsai. In this video I'm going to talk about extension tubes. Back when I was trying to kickstart this channel again, I needed a way to get close-up footage of camera equipment, and I didn't have any type of dedicated macro lens. Went to CameraCraft, my local camera shop, and David suggested that I try out extension tubes, in this case these Promaster auto extension tubes, which pushes the aperture and also focusing with these tubes. So that's pretty convenient, especially with the G-type lenses on Nikon. You can't adjust the aperture on the lens itself. So with the equipment that I had at the time, I basically needed those auto extension tubes to adjust the aperture. With this specific set of tubes, you have the 12mm, the 20, and the 36. Each one gives you a closer potential for focusing. You can put them together, 2 or more. You can have all of them together if you want, and it'll get you the closest focusing possible. Of course, it depends on the lens you're using, and I did a few tests with the lenses that I have, kind of an example of how it will work in practice. I normally use the 50mm lens with these tubes. It's very convenient, works well, and gives me enough working distance, and the lens itself is very nice, so I won't have a really bad degradation in image quality with this lens. Obviously, with the shorter tube, you're going to get less close-up focusing. You can stack with all 3 tubes at once, and I did a test with that. Of course, as you're probably thinking, wide-angle lenses won't work well with extension tubes. I did a quick test just to show an example of why it won't work. I used the shortest tube with the 20mm f1.8G lens, and I had to get extremely close to get any type of focus with that setup. I also did quickly try the Yongnuo 100mm f2 lens with the extension tubes. You can see you do have more working distance in that situation, which can be convenient. It really depends on what you're trying to do with it. As I mentioned, these extension tubes are very helpful to me for getting footage of camera gear close-ups, which I really like to have in my videos. Now, I'm probably going to be trading in all of my Nikon gear, but I do have some M42 extension tubes that I can use with this Takumar 50mm lens. I'll basically get the same thing in that case, and then I can use it on the M50 cameras. Now, the nice thing about this setup is that it has the aperture right on the lens itself, meaning it's a little bit more convenient actually in that setup. If you don't have any extension tubes, I suggest picking up a set. It can be the really basic ones. They're basically tubes that work with your mount and lenses, but the auto ones are nice as well. Extension tubes are a great thing to have for that macro work. Of course, you can do standard stuff like insects, or in my case, you can do the video stuff. Just really helpful to have in your photography kit. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing. That helps me out a lot. Likes and shares help out a lot as well. Thanks again.